Who am I? In a world flooded with noise, ambition, and uncertainty, one of the most haunting questions often whispers in our quietest moments. Who am I? This cinematic short film invites us to explore that question, not through grand philosophical debate, but through simple moments, lucky accidents, and the profound intersections between strangers. At its core, this story isn't just about identity. It's about how lives influence each other in silence, and how every person carries an invisible web of experiences, losses, and dreams that quietly shape who they are. The illusion of control and the mystery of timing. Why, when things seem to go well, do they suddenly stop working? Life often unfolds in ways that feel chaotic or unpredictable. The opening lines of the film reveal a truth most of us live through but rarely understand. Progress can stall without warning. We ask questions, we search for causes, we blame ourselves or others, but sometimes, life simply turns. The pace changes. A door closes. A window, maybe, opens. This captures a key existential lesson. We are not always in control, and luck, both good and bad, often plays a larger role than we're willing to admit. Yet even randomness can serve a deeper purpose when we remain open to what unfolds next. Childhood, the first identity blueprint. Who am I? I was the first child of parents who dreamed. The narrator begins unraveling the question of identity by tracing it to his origins. From a childhood shaped by abundance, expectations, and the desire to be the best, we see how family dynamics and early roles shape our self-perception. Many people grow up performing for approval, be it through grades, creativity, or discipline. The narrator, like many, sought independence through imagination, using writing as a way to escape and recreate reality. This reveals a truth we often forget. We don't just inherit DNA, we inherit dreams, burdens, and expectations. And much of who we become is a response to them. Accidental beginnings and serendipitous success. Until one morning, I had a lucky accident. I met Beatrice. One of the most powerful moments in the film is how the narrator's entire career begins, not with effort or planning, but through a chance encounter. Beatrice reads his work. She shares it with Jack. Jack shares it with Celine. Eventually, it lands in the hands of a publisher. And just like that, the course of a life is redirected. This chain of events reminds us of something essential. Opportunity rarely knocks loudly, it whispers. And most importantly, we need others to recognize our gifts before the world ever does. The other half of the story, parallel struggles. As the narrative shifts, we're introduced to a delivery girl, cheerful, ambitious, and radiant with creative fire. Yet her life is marked by hardship. Growing up with her grandparents, losing them, moving to the city, going hungry. But like the narrator, she stumbles into unexpected opportunities, delivering hair to a theater, stepping in for an absent actress, eventually writing and starring in her own play. Here, the film quietly illustrates that success stories often begin in survival. And that talent is only revealed when circumstance gives it a stage. The moment of intersection. Who are you? When the two characters finally meet, it is not an epic climax but a quiet encounter over a coffee, born from an empty package and a delivery mix-up. They ask each other about work, fame, failure, and inspiration. He confesses his self-doubt, believing perhaps he never had any real talent at all. She, in turn, reveals a secret. His book was her lifeline during her darkest days. It was his words that helped her survive. Her play? Inspired by him. This moment is a revelation of reciprocal influence. Sometimes, your greatest impact is invisible. Sometimes, someone is alive and creating because of something you forgot you once made. Fame, doubt, and the fragility of the creative spirit. Inspiration suffers from vertigo in heights. The film beautifully illustrates a lesser discussed reality. Success doesn't silence insecurity, it often amplifies it. Once the narrator reaches the top, he finds himself blocked, paralyzed by expectation, and abandoned by inspiration. He begins to question the very foundation of his journey. This is a crucial lesson for any creator, artist, or dreamer. Self-doubt is part of the path, not proof you're on the wrong one. A full circle of meaning. In the final scene, the delivery girl turns to leave but reminds him what his words meant. What he created mattered. And in a final ironic twist, the package that had no contents now delivers the most valuable thing of all: affirmation, connection, and inspiration. The box was empty, but she left him full. Conclusion. So, who are you? This short film doesn't give us a concrete answer. Instead, it teaches that who you are is not just who you were born to be, but also the chances you took, the people who believed in you, the losses you endured, the words you shared, and the strangers whose lives you touched without even knowing. Sometimes, the question, who am I, can't be answered by looking inward, but by meeting someone who sees your impact before you do. Final reflection. Sometimes, you have to help luck a little bit. In the end, life is a mixture of chance and courage, loss and discovery, silence and expression. The film reminds us that behind every successful person is a story of invisible resilience, and sometimes, behind that resilience, is your voice, your work, your courage. You might never know the full extent of your influence, but someone, somewhere, is holding on because of what you once shared.